Welcome back to the Brothers Grimdark, everybody, and welcome to our recap of Game 1 along with a little preview for Game 2. So, spoilers alert, if you haven't seen Game 1 yet, we're going to be going through where that game was potentially won and lost. So if you haven't seen that game yet, go check out the video now. Alright, let's get into Game 1. So Game 1 saw the Glen Griffin United, the Bretonians, being piloted by Rowan, facing off against the Chillyville Red Dragons Lizardmen team being run by Johnny. And before this game, I sort of thought the key matchup was going to be making sure Rowan could swap his linemen and his knights around almost, have his knights go after the source and free up his linemen to be able to go skink hunting. And that wasn't how the game began. The game began with Johnny really being able to dominate the pitch. He was removing linemen very successfully. And it wasn't until after Johnny had scored that Rowan went on the offensive and he was able to get those knights into the fray, almost forced into it by having so few linemen left on the pitch. But he got some real success on that front, was able to score back in the first half, and then in the second, he got some good control of the game and just moved on from there, pushing forward with his knights, particularly those Grail Knights, the Blitzers, being able to keep Source down, making sure Johnny couldn't hit him as much in Johnny's activations. Every turn, Rowan was knocking down 2 Saurus or so it was really less that Johnny could do back, and that was really where that game tipped. So great coaching from Rowan there. I don't think there was much Johnny could do. This kind of snowball effect happened. He lost a Saurus or 2, had a skink sent off, and when that happened, it was hard for him to be able to control the pitch as much. So really good first game. This game though is going to see Dean and his Norse team, the Longforgan Longboats, facing off against the Vampires, being run by Greg, the Thirst and Downer. So this game is coming this week, our Game 2. So stay tuned for that, but I'm just going to have a little bit of a dive into the teams and where I think this game might be won and lost. So the Norse team are rocking basically 2 of all of their positionals bar the Yeti. They've got 2 Valkyries, they've got 2 Ulfurner, they've got 2 Blitzers, they've got 4 linemen, and then they've got 2 Beer Boars. The Vampires on the other side have got 5 of their positionals, 2 throwers, best thrower in the game. They've got 2 runners, very good wide receiver there. They've got a Blitzer who's a little bit more unhinged but real hitting power. And then they've got 5 linemen and an extra 1 on the bench. Sorry, 6 linemen and an extra 1 on the bench. Can't do my maths there. So both teams rocking a bench, which is very nice. Both teams can be fragile. You've got the low armor on the Norse team facing against the Thralls, which are low armor and also food for the Vampires. So where I think this game might tip is actually going to be the linemen for the Norse team. If they can line up against their counterparts with that block scale and eliminate a few Thralls early in the game, forcing Greg to really have to decide whether he's going to chomp down on his Thralls or cause turnovers by not eating with his Vampires when he rolls those 1s. That's going to be interesting. I think that might be the key part. Against that, it's going to be the Vampires, how strongly their passing game activates. You've got the 2 throwers and the 2 runners. It's a great combo. The throwers being agility 2+, passing 2+, and strength 4 makes them an awesome player. And then you've got the Vampire runners that are movement 8 with agility 2+ as well and strength 3. So if Greg can move the ball around, if the Vampires can move the ball around, kind of get the Norse team out of position, which are not slow, but they're not fast either. They could maybe out-position them, open a wing, get those balls down the wing for some touchdowns. So we'll just have to see. That game is coming very, very soon, later in the week, so keep tuned for that. And yeah, thank you for watching this video. We'll see you again soon on the Brothers Grimdark.